She looked harmless, quiet, almost invisible, an elderly woman's trusted visitor. A nurse, a helper, a friend. But behind that gentle face was one of the most terrifying serial killers in Latin American history. Between prayers and polite smiles, she strangled her victims to death, one by one, without remorse. They called her La Mataviejitas, the old lady killer. Who was Juana Barraza? How did a woman with such a painful past become a cold-blooded predator? And why did it take authorities so long to stop her? Tonight, we uncover the chilling truth behind Juana Barraza, a woman who shocked the world with crimes that still haunt Mexico to this day. Juana Barraza Samperio is not just another criminal name in history. She represents a terrifying contradiction, someone who lived among society's most vulnerable people, yet preyed upon them mercilessly. Her crimes shocked Mexico and exposed deep flaws in law enforcement, social neglect, and psychological trauma. Known as La Mataviejitas, Juana became infamous for targeting elderly women, gaining their trust before killing them in brutal silence. Her story is not only about murder, it is about abandonment, abuse, rage, and a lifetime of suppressed violence finally exploding into horror. Juana Barraza was born in 1957 in Hidalgo, Mexico, into a life marked by extreme suffering from the very beginning. Her mother was an alcoholic who often neglected her, but the deepest wound came when Juana was still a child. In exchange for alcohol, her own mother sold her to a man who repeatedly abused her. This betrayal shattered Juana's sense of trust, safety, and humanity. Psychologists later believed this trauma played a major role in shaping her violent behavior. Growing up without protection or love, Juana developed intense resentment, especially toward older women, whom she subconsciously associated with her mother. As an adult, Juana Barraza appeared to live an ordinary life. She worked various jobs and even became a lucha libre wrestler, performing under the name La Dama del Silencio, the Lady of Silence. The name would later become hauntingly symbolic. While cheering crowds watched her wrestle in public arenas, no one suspected that she was secretly committing a series of gruesome murders. This double life allowed her to blend into society unnoticed, proving how easily evil can hide behind normalcy. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, elderly women across Mexico City began dying under mysterious circumstances. Most lived alone. Many were found strangled with objects like stockings, cords, or stethoscopes. At first, authorities believed the crimes were robberies gone wrong. But as the body count rose, a chilling pattern emerged. These women were not randomly attacked, they were hunted. Juana would pose as a nurse or social worker, gaining easy access to their homes before killing them with terrifying calmness. Juana Barraza did not kill in fits of rage, she killed with purpose. Experts believe her crimes were driven by deep psychological scars rooted in childhood abuse and maternal hatred. Each elderly victim symbolized the mother who failed her. Strangulation, a deeply personal method of killing, suggested a need for control and dominance. Juana was not seeking money. Many victims were left untouched. She was seeking emotional release through violence, making her one of the most psychologically complex serial killers in history. As fear spread across Mexico City, public outrage grew. The police were under immense pressure, but their investigation was flawed from the start. Authorities insisted the killer was a man, even arresting innocent suspects to calm public fear. Meanwhile, Juana continued killing. This failure allowed her to operate freely for years, highlighting systemic sexism and incompetence within law enforcement. Elderly women lived in terror, locking themselves inside their homes, afraid that kindness could cost them their lives. In 2006, Juana Barraza was finally caught almost by accident. She was arrested after being seen fleeing the home of an elderly woman she had just murdered. This time, the evidence was undeniable. Inside her belongings were items linking her to multiple crime scenes. DNA confirmed what police had failed to see for years. The killer they were hunting was not a man, it was Juana Barraza. Juana Barraza was convicted of multiple murders and sentenced to 759 years in prison. one of the longest sentences ever handed down in Mexico. During her trial, she showed little remorse, often blaming her victims or her past. The nation watched in shock as the woman once dismissed by police became the face of one of Mexico's deadliest crime sprees. Juana Barraza's story is more than a crime documentary. It is a warning about ignored trauma, broken systems, and the danger of stereotypes. She reminded the world that monsters do not always look frightening. Sometimes they smile, sometimes they help, and sometimes they wear the face of someone you trust. Her victims are gone, but their stories remain a chilling reminder that evil can grow in silence and strike when least expected. If this story disturbed you, it should, because the most dangerous criminals are often the ones no one suspects. Subscribe for more true crime stories that shock the world.